everyone, so today I wanted to show you 7 exercises that you're probably doing wrong. So these are common exercises that just with a little tweak, you can perform them correctly and efficiently. So one of the first exercises that I see a lot of people doing wrong is the shoulder press. So what they do is you're going up and you're lifting the weight up, and the weight, if you notice, is directly over my head or behind my head. That is going to hurt your rotator cuff. You want to always, when you do a shoulder press, put it slightly in front of you. Not directly above, but just slightly in front. So what you want to do is press and press it slightly forward. That way, you're not hurting your rotator cuff. You're doing the exercise correctly, and you can build your shoulders without getting an injury. The second exercise that I see a lot of people do wrong is the squat. Now, just remember, for any of these exercises, you want to start off with low weight first. The reason is you want to get the form correct before you ever put weight on, because if you put weight on and the form's not correct, you're just going to be hurting yourself even more. So the squat, you start with your feet hip width apart, not shoulder width apart, hip width apart. And what you want to do is either have your toes pointed slightly out or directly in front of you. Everybody's ball and socket joint is designed a little bit differently, but you just want to make sure your feet aren't pointed in. That definitely is a no-no. So what you're doing right here is you're playing around with your hips. You want to make sure your hips go back, not forward. So just kind of shake your hips forward, back, hip hinge, and once you get to the back position, go ahead and squat nice and low. You want to get that 90-degree angle. You want this part of your thigh to be parallel to the floor. You don't want it to be at a different angle. You don't want your knees to come forward. You want to make sure, sorry, I'm so close to the wall. You want to make sure your butt goes back so you have that nice angle there, 90-degree angle with your knees. You don't have to go lower than 90, but you want to make sure you're doing this correctly, because if you are doing it correctly, that means you're not going to really bother your knees too much, and you could help build your strength in your glutes and your quads. I actually did a lot of squats after I had my knee surgery, and people are like, how are you doing it? The reason I was able to do it is because I had the right form. So make sure your butt goes back and you're at 90 degrees and your knees aren't coming over. So hip is back, hip is pushed back, chest is up. You're looking straight forward, or you can look up. Just don't look down. I'm going to turn sideways real quick. And you probably want to do this one either in front of a camera or a mirror so you could see your form to see if you're doing it properly. The next one a lot of people get wrong is the lunge. So the lunge is a little bit challenging because a lot of times people will want to step way out forward, or they'll just want to put all the weight on their toe on your front foot. You actually want to put the weight on your back heel for the front foot, because you don't want to put your weight on the toe, because then your knee tends to go forward. So try to focus the weight on the heel. You're going down, so both of these knees are at 90 degrees. You want this part to be parallel to the floor, and you want that shin in your back leg to be parallel to the floor. If you're not able to go that low, practice makes perfect, right? You also want to make sure your body's straight here. You don't want to lean too much forward. You don't want to lean too much back. So this is another one of those exercises that having a mirror or a camera would be really awesome to check your form. All right, so another exercise I see a lot of people do wrong at the gym is the plank. It's really simple exercise, but it's actually really easy to get wrong. And when I get tired, or when you get tired, you start doing this exercise wrong because you want to keep doing it, because you want to build your strength and power, but it's not going to help your body if you're doing it with the wrong form. So your hands come right underneath you, your shoulders, and you're almost pressing your hands away from the floor. That way you don't hurt your wrist too much. The power is coming up towards the ceiling. So your chest comes up, your butt comes up, your head is forward, not super down, not super up, just really neutral. You want your spine to be neutral or like a straight line. You don't want to dip down, you don't want to come up too much. Try to have it be a straight line. Obviously in the glute area it's going to come up just a little bit, but you want to get your head out of your shoulders, don't sink in. And this is how you do a plank. But once you start getting tired, we start to sink down. Don't even bother holding it up that way. If you're getting tired, just stop because you want to get the right form. All right, the next exercise that's kind of like the plank that I see a lot of people do wrong. I actually used to do it wrong for years because I didn't know any better, is the push-up. So a lot of times people will have their elbows come out nice and far like that, along with their butt up or their hips low. When your elbows come out like that, you're going to put a lot of strain on your rotator cuff. So you want to try to keep your elbows in or maybe just slightly out, but you don't want to do this. So you don't want to strain your rotator cuff. And that's the key. You also don't want to strain your lower back. So the pressure is pushing up and away, just like the plank. So you're putting your body up and away, but then you're going to keep your head neutral, not up or down, butt's not up or down, and come down and bring your full body. A lot of people will dip their head low or head high. You want to just kind of stay neutral. And people will try to keep doing push-ups as well, even though they're losing the form. Don't do it. If you want to start changing your form because you're getting tired, just go to your knees. You're going to work more of your full range of motion than if you just do poor form with the full push-up. Okay, another exercise I commonly see doing wrong at the gym is the kettlebell swing. So the kettlebell swing, the motion is coming from your hips right here, not from your upper body. It's mostly like a pendulum, like a clock. And what you want to do is your feet are hip width apart and you're using the momentum from your hips. I'm really just focusing on doing a nice hip thrust, swinging my hips. I'm not doing my arms like this. You're going to hurt your lower back and you're going to hurt your upper body maybe. You want to really do a hip thrust. I'm going to show you forward just so you could see it. You're not doing this. That's poor form. What you're doing is right here, hip thrust. Really focus on this tiny motion right in the hips. The last one I see people do wrong so many times is the stiff leg deadlift. So the stiff leg deadlift is a little different than a normal deadlift because you're not bending your knees, but you don't want to keep your knees locked. Keep them loose, and you want to keep the bar as close to your shins as possible. Really good deadlifters and stiff leg deadlifters get scratches all over their shins because they're keeping the bar as close to their shins as possible. The more you reach out, the more likely you are to hurt your lower back. So a lot of people will reach out all the way here. You don't want to do that. You want to reach down and come straight up. Reach down and come up. Like I said, reaching out here is wrong. You're going to hurt your lower back. So nice and slow. Keep the bar close to your shins. Come all the way up. Don't just stop here. Come all the way up with your shoulders back. Down. All the way up. You want to make sure you get that shoulder back. And that really helps your hamstrings and your shoulders with really good posture. So I hope this video helped. If there's any other exercises that you need help on doing the correct form, let me know. If you have any other tips for me for these exercises I showed you on how to get the right form, let me know as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.